Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's time for another a story and some real drama. So I'm G, your favorite therapist. Let's solve the issue. We're doing this together, right?
I don't know. I just got here.
My husband may have cheated on me with my dead best friend and had an affair, baby.
Oh my God.
I mean, we've really seen some terrible stories here, but this one seems heavy. Now, throwaway account for safety, and this started in 2024. I don't even know where to start. The past 6 months have been an absolute clusterfuck, and it only seems to be getting worse. My best friend since elementary school, who I'll call Alice, passed away in February from cancer. She had a 2-year-old daughter who went into the custody of her mom after she passed away, who I'll call Alexis. Last month, Alexis showed up on our doorstep unannounced, telling my husband he needs to take responsibility for his child and either take custody or start finally paying child support. Okay. I'm guessing that she said she was talking about Alexis is her mom, is the friend's mom, because I actually first thought it was the daughter. She says that Alice had told her when her daughter was born who the father was, but didn't want anything to do with him. To answer the inevitable question, Alice was a traveling nurse and made a lot of money, which is the only reason I can think of why she didn't go for child support. I know you don't want the child, but it's yours age, so you have to do child support. So it makes sense that she was good. It's a bit it's really sad given that she has spent most of her life helping people and to die from the horrible cancer. Now, during this conversation, my husband had the worst panic attack he's ever had. So yeah, that sounds like kind of guilty to me. So we had to end the conversation before I could get more details. My husband's story is, I don't even know.
Bruh.
Excuse us. What? Yeah, we actually need to see what the explanation is, because how would you not know? There's only one, it's her friend. You're not supposed to. It should be a clear 100% no. Or if you guys have ever done it, it should be yeah, that's the only reason why he would not know.
Yes, exactly.
He said that Alice's daughter is probably his, but that it isn't what I think. Okay, now I'm already thinking, my mind is going to a million places, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, maybe he became a sperm donor for her because he's a wife's friend, but that's a conversation that him, his wife, and Alice were supposed to have, right?
I think so.
Now, almost 3 years ago, we threw a large housewarming party as we just moved into our dream home after I finally finished residency and was set to make real money for once. Alice was in town and set to be at the party, but I was called into work before she got there. I didn't get back till after 3 a.m. Party was winding down. My husband was passed out upstairs and Alice had already left the party, which at the time I did find strange as we hadn't seen each other in months. Obviously, it's your friend, you've come there to see her. So even if she's at work, you'd have the party and just sleep there and probably wait for her so you can meet her, because she's a traveling nurse and she's this residency. So I'm assuming her friend, the OP who posted this, was a doctor. My husband claims he woke up in the middle of the night to Alice on top of him, but he passed out again before he could say anything. How convenient when Alice is not here to tell us the same story. He claims he never told me because he was worried I wouldn't believe him, which I don't know if I do, obviously. He showed me some texts which he sent to his best friend the next day asking for his advice about him thinking someone raped him. But if he cheated, he could have had that conversation as evidence, especially since he never said Alice specifically. Exactly, right?
Absolutely.
Ever since the party, he had been very distant with Alice, and after she had her daughter, he would even find excuses not to be around the house when she would visit at all. I didn't know if that's because he cheated or if Alice did actually rape him and this was his trauma response. Honestly, Reddit, I don't know what to do. I've known Alice since we were children, and she had never come across as that kind of person. But I've also known my husband for over a decade, and he's not once ever given me the inclination of a cheater. He's an attractive guy, and I've seen the looks he gets at the gym, and he's never even given more than a glance. What the hell should I do? How do I figure out what the truth is here when Alice isn't even around to defend herself? She never even implied she liked my husband, let alone want to sleep with him. In both sides, because you'd see the looks, you see maybe the comments, because the people are comfortable with you and hear the things they'll say if someone has that type of interest. But then again, if someone is like insisting that they don't have any interest, then it could tell you that maybe they are hiding something, and people could hide it so well. So it's like, this is really hard. Now, I told my husband he needs to do a DNA test, obviously, before anything is decided on the child's part. But in the meantime, he needs to move out while I think about what I'm going to do here. So some people asked questions and she gave answers for them. The first one was, did Alice change behavior after that night? Anything at all? And her response was, not that I noticed. She'd always been at least a little standoffish towards him, as she thought I could do better. The first time she visited after she gave birth, she asked where he was since he wasn't home for the first time, but she's never asked after that. Now, the next question was obviously DNA test. His story does sound wild, but he wouldn't be the first. Is he someone who tends to drink a lot at times or black out? Which was what I was about to say when I was low-key already judging. I was like, you could do whatever you want with your life, but then to drink to the point that you're stupid and you're not sure about the decisions you make is always very questionable.
How dare you!
So her response was, not at all. He rarely drinks and generally only at parties, which at our ages are few and far between. He works a tough and stressful job, so I figure once he was boozed, he laid down and fell asleep. Not that he had drunk more than normal or anything like that. Like, how would people rape you when you're sleeping? If you're drunk and you're not conscious of your decision, that makes sense. So I was wrong. The questions are a million questions, not a million, but there are too many, and this video will be too long. So I just skipped all of those, but there were just people talking about their own experiences and trying to figure out who's right. But I'm going straight to the update. So there's an update on the same post. After talking with you, I've come to the realization that my husband is being truthful. My best friend with him. Several people pointed out that with Alice not liking my husband, if it was an affair, she would have told me when she was dying, if only to separate us. Makes sense. You're absolutely right. I was there in the room when she passed. I held her hands for days. We talked about so much. If it was just an affair, she would have told me. But if she raped my husband, she wouldn't have said a word. That's the type of thing horrible people take to the grave, which actually makes sense now that you're talking about it, because if she opens up about an affair, a friend has been very supportive when she's down and sick, you'd be thinking, oh, okay, even if you're living this earth, she deserves better than her husband, so she'll probably open up about it, maybe to just clear her conscience and say she's sorry before she dies. So, but if she did rape him, she's not going to talk about that. I've also come to the realization that I made a terrible mistake by asking my husband to leave for a few days while I gather my thoughts. No, I think that was normal. That was normal, instead of looking at him and all of the thoughts and emotions you're going through and figuring stuff out. So I think that was best. Not to make excuses, but losing my best friend to cancer, a long cancer fight at that, was brutal. To say that I was devastated wouldn't do it justice. That it happened only 6 months ago, I'm still feeling it every day. So to have this thrown at me, it's like I'm losing her all over again. Either she betrayed me and effed my husband, or she betrayed me and raped my husband. Now, either way, you're betrayed, but then he's alive, so figure out if you're gonna be mad at him. Not only have I lost her, but now I've lost the good memories, an entire lifetime's worth, which makes sense. All of the person you cared about and loved, everything is just mumbled up now. It was impossible for me to look at him and not also see her and be stuck in the horror and realization of the loss all over again. I felt I needed to be able to break down, grieve, and think without the fresh wave of loss I got every time I saw him. Exactly what I said. It was wrong for me to ask him to leave. You're right though. And as of a few minutes ago, I've righted this wrong. I called my husband, I apologized to him, I believe him and begged him to come home. He'll be here in half an hour at most, and I'm going to support my husband the way I know he would have supported me. I've been an off and on Reddit user for several years, and sometimes the advice given on subreddits like this can be a hit or miss, but today you guys did good. Oh, you're welcome. Like, are we contributing?
Huh?
I mean, we do contribute with all of the petty revenge and ideas that you guys leave in the comments. Like, they're always good. Now, you've helped me realize not only that I was wrong and being stupid at that, but that I was hurting the person that needed me the most. I was selfish. Well, now that she's saying it, I'm trying to see it, because if he's opening up about being rewarded, it means that he would have needed support, and if the shoes were turned around, if it was reversed, she would definitely have needed support. So she should probably show him the same grace.
Absolutely.
I have no idea what we are going to do as far as the potential daughter is concerned, but I can assure you we'll deal with it together. It's going to take a long time and probably a lot of therapy to grieve this new loss. I feel numb now, as though I'll never cry again. My best friend was my husband, which means she was no friend of mine. She flaunted it, coming to my house, sitting with me and Gavin. She brought her child here, trying to rub it in my face right in front of me. She taunted the man I loved, and I was an annoying part of it. I feel sick to my stomach over how many times she came over just to hold it over him. I'm honestly at loss on how to make that up to him. If you all have any ideas, please feel free to give them to me. I think I'll need all the help I can get. Tomorrow I'm going to take a leave of absence from work just until we can figure out the next steps and we can get our heads on straight. Now, she says thank you to everyone, and this is 2025 in March. There is another update.
Interesting.
I've received, even I want to know what the DNA test said.
Me too.
Me too.
I've received a lot of messages asking for an update, so I've decided to finally sit down and write out one. As you can imagine, after the cluster F that was trusted upon us, this update isn't likely to answer any of your questions, only present a few more. I want to start by telling you all that I love and trust my husband. My reaction to ask him for space to think in retrospect was wrong, but at the time I didn't know what to think. I don't think that she should even apologize for that, because it's better that she took that space and figured herself out. There's a lot of people that would have done crazy things, and so it wasn't wrong. She needed that space to ground herself before she can hold him. She's not gonna it's okay when she doesn't trust him. She's just an honest person, so I don't think that it was wrong. But it is good to think of things from his side as well. So she definitely needed that space. Now, it was a combination of losing my best friend again and also the fear that I was losing my husband that sent me spiraling. Again, it was a mistake to ask him to leave, and I did rectify that in the end. Now, for the update. As mentioned in the original post, I did take a leave of absence from work, and we spent a long time just being together, talking, reaffirming our love for one another, and figuring out what to do next. We of course spoke with a lawyer, and my husband was very adamant about not having anything to do with the child, but was willing to offer financial support as needed. So we agreed to do a DNA test immediately to prove paternity, and then go from there. Didn't know you could buy tests on Amazon, but with only a few weeks processing, it was the easiest path forward since Alexis lives hours away. To everyone's surprise, Alice's daughter is not my husband. Okay, I was expecting everything but this twist. Oh wow. I'm just look, I felt bad for her at the start, but I feel like she's just putting her middle finger up in the grave. She's with one, just the middle finger up. I cannot do that here, but what? Because that's that's waters that did not need to be moved around. But then for her, it's very diabolical for her to give her mom the wrong info, or is it what she actually believed? So the kid is not her husband's kid. We ended up testing twice, both very, very definitive. The first test we performed ourselves, as mentioned, and another, Alexis refused to believe the first test and took my husband to court for child support. For a single second, this whole thing made me second guess if my husband was hard, that this could have been her way of forcing my husband to admit to an affair. Which, I didn't even think of that. But like, she's a smart doctor, so it makes sense that she thinks of it. But like, oh. I was about to say that's really diabolical for her to just like stir something up there. And someone mentioned in one of the comments that it would be very diabolical for the husband to have texted his friend about being R-worded if he was just keeping it like just in case she finds out. And what if the husband explained everything he explained, but it happens the other way around? What if he did that to Alice? Oh, and Alice, oh, okay. So yeah, she is second guessing everything. Like, what if it's her friend's way to get her husband to admit to an affair? But after talking with Alexis, I don't think that was the plan. Alexis says that Alice told her my husband was the father under strict confidence, demanding that she never ever tell me or my husband. Not telling the guy is what I'm questioning. Not telling her makes sense. We were only ever to be told if Alexis died before Alice's daughter was old enough to take care of herself, so that she wouldn't end up in foster care. The only reason Alexis came to us then instead of keeping that secret is because Alice's life insurance wasn't being released yet and she was out of options. She also felt I should know my husband and her daughter had an affair. This all reaffirms in my mind that Alice did rape my husband, with the exception of getting pregnant with his child. Because yeah, it would make sense if she didn't want the husband to know if she had actually hard-worded him. So she obviously had other partners at that time, since one of them fathered her daughter, but no one knows who. It's clear to me that Alice believed it was my husband, and low-key she felt like, oh, okay, her child's future is secure because there's always going to be like her friend's husband there for the child. I did suggest Alexis upload a sample to Ancestry, see if any matches pop up, but as Alice traveled all over for work, I don't know that anything will ever come of that. In truth, I've washed my hands of the situation. Alice did enough damage and I don't particularly plan to be around for anymore. Yeah, that probably is the easiest thing to do. My husband and I have gone through a lot of counseling and will likely continue for a while. This whole situation damaged us both, my husband more obviously, and I don't think we'll fully heal for a long time. Now, to answer a few questions, so sadly there isn't a hidden diary or text to explain what the F was going on. My husband and I are not getting divorced. He understands why I reacted the way I did and has been strong when I was weak before. I spent the past 7 months being strong while he was weak. So we're considering the whole thing even. We are still madly in love and plan to be together for a long time. Still more days. Now, no, we will not adopt Alice's child. If she had been my husband's, we would have been adopting the child. Ultimately, I thank Reddit for setting me straight. There was a massive outpouring of support. Yeah, there were so many comments about people talking about their experiences that were not great, and just pointing her to go comfort the husband because he might have just been sitting on this stuff that has been weighing down on him for a long time.
Makes sense.
There was a massive outpouring of support and corrective advice. To say I got a slap on the face would be descriptive, but apt way to put it. I needed it and I thank you for it. To say that you may have saved my marriage is an understatement. Oh, you're welcome. But like, I still want to know what you guys would do. Like, it's ringing in my mind. I hate when things are not crystal clear, but what do you guys think? Is she making the right choice? And I do feel like Alice might not have been the friend that she thought she was, and it's better for her to stay with her husband who has never given her a reason to doubt him. If it's like a random cheater, you could be like, yeah, this is just the final blow, but he has never given her a reason to doubt. And he probably does really need the support that they are there for.
Absolutely.
So what do you guys think? I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments and show us different perspectives. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.